Hey, what's up? It's Rashad, Antonio. You know what time it is. Talking You So, podcast about talking stuff. And the talking stuff we're talking about today is The Rings of Power, season 2, episode 4. What's the name of the episode?
Eldest.
Yeah, Eldest.
Mm-hmm.
All spoilers, man. Shout out to people on threads. I just want to shout y'all out. Last couple of days ago, I put out a post who was the MVP of episodes 1 through 3, and I
Mm-hmm.
just want to show you what the results were. So,
Yes.
because I was like, man, is it either Disa, the I want to say, yeah, Elrond, Sauron, or
Mm-hmm.
Isildur's horse? You know what I'm saying? Like,
You're going horse, man.
that persistent horse. You know what I'm saying? And
Uh,
I got 41% voted for Sauron.
mm,
So I was like, y'all some evil people out here on Threads, yo. So yeah, so we like it. We love it, we like it. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So that's put the other way around. I apologize. Oh yeah, I also missed 6, so I ain't 100%. I'm just gonna throw that out there right now. I'm gonna make some mistakes today. Bear with us. So this episode 4, it was it was really good, man. Like, I don't care how much people be out here trying to hate on the show, man. Like, this episode really shows two major things. One is the fact that we can really make this a huge spectacle with different locations.
Mm-hmm.
And then two, we can still keep the intrigue going without even having to have all the characters in one episode.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Because we pretty much got to everybody, but there were some people who, we saw in 1 through 3, but didn't really pop up this episode. So yeah, who you want to talk about first?
Our favorites, I guess we love to hate.
Oh, the Harfoots.
What is this? What else? What's the Sooners or whatever? The Boomer
Stewards?
Sooners?
The
Stewards?
Stewards? You said
Yeah,
the
the
Boomer
Boomer
Sooners.
Sooners, whatever.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. So we got Nori
Poppy.
and Poppy, after they got Wizard of Oz out there and on that tornado. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Right after that happened, they got separated
The stranger.
Comet Jesus. So they are on a separate part of the desert. This desert is huge, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they wake up, they still have their faculties, everybody's good.
Mm-hmm.
Then they see this random like Indian kid just walking by with some water. And they like, yo, you a Harfoot. He said, man, who was a Harfoot?
He said, what's a Harfoot? Hey, what's the deal that kid looked like if they saying the Broadway play version of the Lion King, he could have been like a young Scar. Like a young I'm just saying, with the hair, because the hair was like really jet black, and he had the olive, saying the olive.
Yeah, if he just was a little more, if he just was a little more sassy.
He's a little more sassy. It could have been scared. Could have been like young Scar or something like that.
Oh, Mufasa.
Yeah, but you're right though. He was just like,
yeah, he was really taken aback by being called a Harford. Like, yo, like, are y'all cursing at me? And I don't know about it. What are you talking about?
Right.
Insults.
Right, and then he was like, and they were like, wait a minute, you got water? And it was like, yeah, they was like, did you steal it from the big people? And he was like,
I gotta go.
I gotta go. And then, and the thing is, you can already see what's happening right there from the start. It seems like there's going to be some type of love interest between Poppy and this dude.
Yeah, that was almost funny because like Nori was like,
yeah, Nori got upset. Nori was you were the +1, Nori. That's what you are.
Was right, like, yo, we trying to survive, and you trying to get some booty? Like what? Like,
right?
Focus.
Right. And so Poppy runs over, is like, yo, where you going? He says, I can't tell you that. And he's like, well, if you don't tell me, I'm gonna turn you. I'm gonna report you to those people anyway, which is stupid because those people are trying to kill you, Poppy. But hey, what the hell do I know? So
Nah.
this dude is like, all right, fine, let's go. And they go to, he says, yeah, there's like a city of us. And she's like, a what? And they go like, they're like in like tunnels and caves. And it's not really a full-blown cave because you can still see the night sky and
Yeah,
everything.
it looks real
Ant farmish.
yeah, almost like indigenous of like the Americas, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like kind of like out west and like south, like
Yeah.
Mexico. Like it looks, you know what I'm saying? Because it's cavernous.
You know what it was given to? Maz Eisley, the
Oh
Skywalker,
my
Luke
God. Hey,
Skywalker's childhood home. It was giving me that too.
yeah,
Luke.
that's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, because it was all that. And then like to me, you know, they step in and it's like Northern Africa. You know what I'm saying? You see like black
Yeah.
people, you seeing like basically like
Like with
Mediterranean people.
Mediterranean, yeah, with
And then all of a sudden
Persian
you see
looking,
like
yeah.
a whole gang of like Asian people. I was like, yo, they really like the UN
Yeah.
over here. Like
Yeah.
in a good way. You know what I'm saying?
The Asiatic black man, you know what I'm
Yeah, yeah.
saying?
Peace to the God. You know what I'm saying?
Peace to the gods.
I'm studying 120 right now. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so they go there and they absolutely they got picked up by the town idiot. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
the 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 black lady that runs them, you know what I'm saying, was not having it. She was
Yeah.
like, why'd you bring these two random bastards back to where we live?
Right.
He was like, yo, they just need a place to hide for a little bit. He was like, from them big crazy people, hide from them? Man, please. And then she said, your brains are scrambled. If you put it inside a bird, it will fly backwards.
Yeah.
I was like, that is a very black thing to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. That is. That is when she said that, the first thing I thought of, man, take me back to like high school, whatever. The Rock made that same joke about Kane when Kane couldn't talk and stuff. He said, you put his brain in a parakeet's, you put Kane's brain in the parakeet's body and zing, it flies back. I said, God dang. They called the boy an idiot. And then she looks at them and is like, who are y'all? We're the Harfoots. And she was like, she had to look like y'all look like Harfoots. Like she knew
Well, she
of
knew.
them. And
She
she was
knew.
just like, and then she was like, all right, look, give me a good reason to keep y'all here. And then
Yo,
like Nori,
Nori goes
well,
in.
Nori says, well, with this and that, and she says, we got a guy we're looking for, and he says, I said, give me one good reason. And then she's like, well, this guy, and she was like, we're like, well, who is he? Um, yeah, you know. And then she was like, well, what is he? You got a giant? She's like, it's a giant. Oh, you got a giant? No, not quite. There was like an elf. No, not an elf, but they're called a giant. He's like, what? Nora was like,
She said, what? You got a giant elf?
the giant elf, right? Yeah. Yo, that she was being such a black mom right there when you try to explain something like, spit it out, girl. What you trying to say? Then Nori finally said, he's a wizard. And everybody stopped and she was like, oh, wizard. We only know one wizard in this area, and he's an evil wizard, and that means he's a friend of his. She said, arrest him. She said, basically arrest him and locked them girls up, threw away the key, and kept them hostage.
Say, man, put them chains on them. Stop playing.
Put them chains on them and stop playing. We later get to later on in the episode where the girls and the town. Did we catch the town idiot's name?
Yeah, I'll find it for you.
Whatever. We catch. She locks him up too.
Yeah, that was crazy. I said, yo, you didn't care about your own people at this point.
Yeah, she goes and she comes back and says, look, it's nighttime by this point. And she's like, look here, we talk with the rest of the town elders and stuff like that. And yeah, we're thinking about just letting y'all go and go off into the desert, getting out of here. Hey, too bad, so sad. Sorry this happened to y'all or whatever. And Nori goes on to be like, hey, I get it. If you would have came across the Harfoots, we would have done the same. Like it's like Nori would let them know you don't know how trash we are too. So
look, we both little people in this world. We cut from the same cloth, buddy. You know what I'm saying?
She was like, look here, this and that. And then she says, our leader. And then when she said the leader's name, she stopped and said, what, whoa, who you say y'all leader was? And she was like, y'all come with me real quick. And so she goes and she shows them like a painting on the wall, like a, hieroglyphics of their story of their people. And she says, hey, we are the stewards. This is us right here. But there was one steward who was different, wanted to stray off. He took a couple of people and said, hey, we're gonna go find this basically promised land that's that's going to be for us and this and that. And eventually he said he'll come back. He never came back. That was the best he said.
Oh, like
he never
they really back. Are the children of Israel.
Yeah, she was like, he never came back. And this is who he was. It said his last name again, and he basically was a descendant of the black Harfoot that was in charge of them the first season. She was like, yo, yeah, like I guess Nora was like, yeah, that's our guy. And then she was like, yo, so the towns, she's like, yo, so y'all back to take us to this promised land that y'all found? And she was like, Nora was like,
we never found it.
Never found it. We just been wandering. We just wandering. We go from here to there. And that's how Nori kind of put 2 and 2 together. Not Nori, but Poppy with, hey, when they looked at them old maps and stuff, was like, yo, Hartfords have been through here before. So
yeah.
So these people are basically hobbits. They're all of the same ilk, but it's just that
it's like different. It's like different factions.
Different factions just moved away or whatever, and they came up with their own kind of culture and did their own thing. In the middle of that, they sound the alarm, and the masked people that work for the Dark Wizard, they come because earlier in the episode, the Dark Wizard talked to the masked dude, and he was like, "Yo, where the stranger at?" He said, "Where's the Istari at?" And where's the? He was like, "Hey, yo, we don't know. He got away." And she said, "Well, where the halflings?" It's like, I don't know, but look, man, I promise you on my life that I can. And he was like, "Yeah, all right, then, look, you go ahead and try to find them. I got the Istari. This ain't the first one I've dealt with. I've dealt with before."
Yeah.
And so they show up, and Nori and Poppy, they hide along with Town Idiot and
Miramac,
that's his name. That's right, Miramac. And so the black woman, that's the town elder, she steps up and says, "What business you have here?" That masked man backhand the hell out of her. Ike Turner would have been proud, and I'm not even. She's like, "Yo, I'm not even promoting domestic violence," but he backhand the hell.
He was like, "Hey," she was like, "Hey, man, what y'all want?" Shut up.
Knocked her down, and then put his hand back out to help her. Help her back up.
Hey, I just smacked the face out your mouth, but I do have a caring side. Come on, come on.
It's okay.
I was like, black people catching elves. That was just the first one. So
right.
So he's talking, basically like where them Harfoots at?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, the black lady was like, "Look, man, I don't know.
It's only stewards here."
You know what I'm saying? And and your man was like, "Do you know why we wear these masks?" She was like, "Why would I know?" Yeah. And he said, "Don't worry, we come back. Without no Harfoots, we're gonna show you why we wear these masks."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "Ooh, scary hours over here." Yeah, for real, yo. And the other dude was like, "You already said."
Yeah, right. Don't point the knife. Yeah, that basically was. Yeah, he was the hype man. yeah. It just was. It just was.
Like it
It
was some
just
supreme hyphen going on like that. Like this unnecessary actions. Like definitely
right.
should have smacked the lady and definitely shouldn't have pointed the sword at him. But anyway,
Right. So that's basically what's going on with the characters that me and Rashad love to hate on this show
I
right
kind of like
now.
these people though. You know what I'm saying? They don't seem
Yeah, I
as
like
annoying.
these people right there.
Yeah.
They don't seem as annoying as the Harfoots are.
And our two girls are starting to like figure out the world, so they're not as stupid too. So, oh
I will
yeah,
give them that.
so like another thing too, like you see how they was trying to get to they was basically trying to get to the Shire, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
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 mm-hmm.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's what basically this is going to end up being.
Yeah,
Where they're going to all
they're gonna
converge on.
all meet up probably
You
somewhere
know,
along the line and say, "Hey,
and I'm pretty sure somewhere along the line we're going to probably meet like the first Baggins or something. You know what I'm saying, like that, or
yeah,
Peregrine Took, or meet the first Took or whatever.
yeah."
So coincide with the Harfoots, we got space.
The
We got
stranger.
Comet Jesus, the stranger. He wakes up and he's like, Nori, puppy. He's like, help, where y'all at? Help, trying to find out where they at or whatever. He can't, and he stumbles along like a black goat, and the goat kind of leads him back to this little, I don't know, like home
homestead.
Front,
You know what I'm saying?
homestead, and there's a guy there with a beard, and he's sitting there chilling. He's like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" So, "Hey, what's going on, my guy? What's up?" And he apparently is referred to as a hermit because, once again, those masked people, when they was talking to the Dark Wizard, it was like, "Yeah, we can't find, the starry thing. We think he might be over near where the,
Where the hermit is.
where the hermit is or whatever." So this guy's like, "Hey, what brings you here?" And he's looking like, "Hey, yo, I'm looking for my friends. You've seen their halflings?" And he was like, no, see none of them. And then he's like, "Well, what brings you here?" And then he just happens to look down at the little cloth paper here and said, "Hey, there's stars above this spot I'm looking for." He's like, "There's stars all over the sky." It was like, "There's stars all over the sky." And he was like, "Huh?" He says, "Yeah, show me." So then the paper flies out of his hand and he's like bumbling around trying to get it. And it leads him to where this tree is. And he sees this branch. And that's the same branch kind of like he's been having the dreams of.
Yeah.
He tries to take the branch. That tree said, "You ain't taking nothing from me." It proceeds to eat him.
It just enveloped him.
It enveloped him. This dude is like screaming, hollering, "Help! Help me! Help me! Help!" And he got completely engulfed by this tree. A few minutes later, the hermit comes along. And he's like, "Hey, man, let this dude out, yo, for real." And he's talking to the tree, and the tree's like kind of grumbling back. He's like, "All right, man, look,
Like,
yeah, you had
come
your fun.
on, let him out.
So
It's gonna be all
he
good.
says, "You ain't supposed to be doing this. You're supposed to be growing your roots and spread it." And so he reaches in the tree, pulls out the stranger. The stranger's like, "Yo, what the hell was that?" And then he's like, "Hey, come on, follow me, man. Come on, man. Just clean you up, get you some food and stuff." And then he was like, "Hey, man, why you try to?" He says, "What happened here?" He says, I saw a branch, and I tried to take it." He said, "Maybe you should have asked him first." He said, "Maybe you should have asked him first." So I like this character already because I know who this character is or whatever. So
yeah,
they get back to his hut, and the stranger is like just sitting in the bathtub, and the hermit is like, "Hey, man." Basically, he like, "Hey, man, wash your ass, yo."
Tony.
Did he not? Rashad, did he not basically like, "Hey, man, wash your ass."
Even in Tolkien universe, he still threw that man a bar of soap and no washcloth. I was like, oh man.
Yeah. He's just like, "Hey, man, wash your ass," and just threw a bar of soap or whatever like that, no washcloth. And so, and the thing is, when he was in there, he was like, he said, "I heard two voices. Was there a woman you talking to?" He turns around and says, "You heard a woman?" He says, "Is there somebody else here?" He said, "Yeah, you." That was the first thing. He's just like,
he was really playing with his mind. He's like, "Dog, who is this crazy man?"
Right. So he get him some food and they start talking, and he starts. The stranger sees that this character, the hermit, has magical powers. He's turned like I don't know what the hell that was, like a flatbread into like a baguette.
Yeah, he turned that joint into some daggone some with some crust on it. You know what I'm
so
saying?
so
Like
Cresta,
ciabatta.
it's about right. Yeah, it was like a flat, like almost like a tortilla, and he turned it into like a, saying like a ciabatta or whatever. He was like, oh, this is like, what's your name? He was like, some people call me, what he said, some people just call me Bombadil, saying
Yeah.
Bombadil. And he's just like, okay. And then he was like, well, hey man, can you teach me this magic? He was like, well, why do you want to learn this magic? Why do you want to learn this magic? And then he's just like, I have to help my friends. He said, the stars are showing. And Tom is like talking to him. And then he makes like a flame, an inferno pop out the daggone fireplace. And
Scared
he
the
talked,
hell out
yeah,
of his lamb.
yeah, that lamb. He says, oh, it's okay. But like Bombadil is just chilling. And then finally he says, look here, you ain't the first wizard I done seen come through before. He said, the last was the came through here. I told him what I knew, and he became bad guy. Don't say he became a bad guy,
Yeah,
and
so
he's
that's
doing
the
some wild stuff. And
of course
that's the
that's the
dark,
evil wizard, dark
right?
wizard.
The
Yeah.
dark wizard, the evil wizard. And then he's like, look, man, I'm just trying to do good. And he was like, yeah. He was like, well, there's some other stuff going on out here, and if he teams up with this person because he needs that power to help power him up some more, it's gonna be a problem. And that's when the stranger was like Sauron, and he was like, Bombadil was like, yep, yep, and they started talking, like, and it seems like Bombadil's gonna train him.
Tony,
Now,
Tony, before you go, did you see how shook Common Jesus got? He was like, I gotta face Sauron. He
yeah,
was like,
right here,
nah,
nah, you
you
gotta
gotta face both
both
of
of them.
them.
Yeah, because he asked again, so what are you here for? He was like, I'm here to face him. He says, I'm here to possibly face him. He's like, yeah, he was like, so I gotta face Sauron? Nah, you gotta face both of them or whatever. So just a little off kilter, who Bombadil is.
Sidebar.
Sidebar. All right. So this character name is Tom Bombadil. A lot of people were really upset he wasn't in the original Lord of the Rings
Okay.
trilogy or whatever. A lot of people were really upset. It is believed that Tom Bombadil is possibly the most powerful being on the planet in Middle Earth. Like,
and also the most sarcastic.
right, like he basically is like in tune, because it was asking like who. He says, I'm the eldest. That's all he said was, I'm the eldest. Like he possibly is the first being that was on, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, you Tolkien super fans out there, please let me know, but this is from what I believe. I know if I'm not, like I said, correct me, y'all will, as y'all always do.
Ain't no
when
problem.
we do stuff for all. Hey, it's like he is like the most powerful. That's why he said he's the eldest. He's been there before the stars were shaped and all that stuff. And that's why he said he's the elder. Like, he is so powerful. Rashad, you ready for this?
What's that?
The One Ring had no effect on him. When Frodo had it on and went by him and talked to him, and Frodo was invisible, he still saw Frodo. Hey man, what you doing over here? Like stuff like that. He even put the ring on, no effect on him. That's how powerful Tom Bombadil. Like, Tom Bombadil is straight up like OP before OP was a thing or whatever. And his whole, and I believe his whole mission is kind of like the Watcher. Just sit back, watch, and just he's like one with the plants and the animals and the vegetation and stuff like that. But yeah, Tom Bombadil was a character that with a lot of people that are like fans of the Lord of the Rings books and stuff were really upset. Like, man, I wish Tom Bombadil would have been in the show or whatever, but I can understand why they didn't put him in there. So I guess this is their way of kind of correcting that to show, yes, Tom Bombadil is a part.
Yeah, that would have been a lot. Because there's already a lot as it was. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah. And I mean, it's still a lot of stuff they didn't do, like it in that whole Lord of the Rings trilogy thing. So Tom Bombadil, it seems like, is going to train train this Astari stranger comet space Jesus guy into you know what I'm saying, being a wizard. I know a lot of people think who it is going to be, but I have a theory of who it might actually be.
Yeah, because everybody talking about it's, of course, you know, our homie
Gandalf.
Gandalf, but like, yo, and I
I
was
think it might.
again back on Threads, and
Uh-huh.
I was like, somebody was like, I said, like, who do you think the wizard is?
Saruman.
Somebody was like, yo, might be Saruman. I was
That,
like,
right. Yeah,
I
that's what.
said,
Mm-hmm.
if it's Saruman, that would be so much more fulfilling,
Mm-hmm.
because then all of this would be for essentially for naught, because at the end he ends up, you know what I'm saying, turning anyway. So
Yeah.
like it just it to me, like it makes sense. Like I feel
Yeah.
like if you want to have like Gandalf have his story, it
Mm-hmm.
needs to be the Gandalf show. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he can't just be like common Jesus. It got to be
Yeah.
him and his
Cause think,
trials.
cause like think about it, dude. Like even like in the original trilogy where we saw Saruman in two of the movies, all three if you have the extended version. Like I've seen it, whatever. He knew all this stuff already. Gandalf, remember, he left the Shire to go to Minas Tirith to look into the files in the library.
Yeah, you ain't
And
lying. That is true.
and the thing is, though, a lot of people don't know, like, oh, it seemed like it was just like, oh, he rode the horse to go there. But really in the books, he was gone for like 18 years, like
Yeah.
searching through Middle Earth to find all this stuff. And then Saruman, the White, was already like, yeah, I know about Sauron. I know about this. And even in the Hobbit sequel and the prequel stuff, when Gandalf was like, hey, yo, there's a necromancer out here. And then Saruman was like, man, that necromancer ain't, you know what I'm saying, ain't nothing. So I have a feeling that the stranger is Saruman the White. Let me put the hand on you, Michelle. There you go.
I hope it is.
Yeah, I hope so too.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Just for the chaos. But nah, that's yeah, great explanation.
Yeah.
All right. I think we need to talk about the people who haven't in the words of Jay-Z, if you're having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son.
Got 99 problems, and she definitely is your 100th.
Yo,
She is your 100th.
So back with Arendir and Isildur, back at the old near
Numanorean.
Numanorean you know, hold
Outpost. Yeah.
outpost. Whew, that's a lot of words. Anyway,
Yeah.
so they're trying to figure out where Theo is, because like, you know, Theo's being angsty teen, he's still a little pissy, you know what I'm saying? And he got snatched up, literally got snatched up last episode,
Right.
along with the other you know, followers of Adar. And that's the issue. And I appreciate the show not trying to play my boy being stupid. You know what I'm saying? Just because his baby died, don't mean that he's gonna be susceptible to some new vagina. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like yo, your boy was out there just patrolling the streets for years. Just him and his solidarity, you know what I'm saying, his oath to the realm. You know what I'm saying? So like I appreciate that, because he's like not really, he's kind of iffy about your girl. You know what I'm saying? And then she definitely was trying to, like, you know, act all sweet towards him and stuff. And he's like, okay.
Okay. Meanwhile, Isildur.
Oh, he's like, oh my God.
I hope your betrothed is dead, because I want them draws. I want those medieval draws.
Yo, man, acting like Tommy from Martin over here.
Got the draws.
Got the draws, dog. I got the draws.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So he's having these like these like, you know, he's had a whole traumatic event, you know what I'm saying? So like some of that plays into it, and she was like very thankful. And I like how they're positioning her, hopefully, to be like, I'm just a survivor, and not like I'm just a slut. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope
Yeah.
that's a real fine line they're treading with her
Mm-hmm.
in general. Because if that's the case, that's going to be the third black L we take in the show. Excuse me. We're gonna get to the other one in next the next one. But nah, you're like, okay, let's get back to the story.
So yeah, so what's the guy named the elf, black elf? I forgot his name that quick.
Arendelle.
Arendelle is like talking with the townspeople because they was out searching for Theo. And he's talking to the people at the outpost. It's like, hey, yo, like, hey, we gotta find out, you know what I'm saying, where these raiders are or whatever, and we need to find Theo, you know. And they like, well, hey man, they like F those dudes, like they went like after this, like he's like, no, man, we gotta try to find Theo. And she opens her mouth to chick and is like, hey, I think they might be up north. And he's like, well, how would you know this? And she was like, yeah, you know, I traveled these lands looking for my people, couldn't find them. And I, you know, saw them in the north or whatever. And Isidore was like, all right, great. We can, you know, we can do this. And then you show Isidore basically gets the little aqueduct working for them inside that he showed them, you know, going on. And he's talking to the girl and she's like, yeah. And she's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. So she says, oh, this is that. He was like, oh, in every home in Numenor, we got plumbing in Numenor, yo. We, you know, said, I don't know.
Girl,
Yeah,
you can piss inside a house.
You can piss
when it's
inside
warm,
the house.
You know what I'm saying?
You ain't got to go in the woods, whatever like that.
Civilized,
you know?
Numenor.
Ain't no outhouses out here. It's just in Numenor.
Nah.
And so, you know, they get water stuff, and the next thing you know, Arendelle is like, hey, so how'd you know about the new me in the north again? And she was like, yeah, but he's like, oh, so you spent time with them in the north amongst them? She was like, no, I wasn't like amongst them.
I wasn't with them.
I was hiding, you know. I was trying to get around them and hide them. And then he's like, oh. And then he was like, yo, and the thing is, people forget the eyesight of elves. Remember in Two Towers, when they was trying to run behind the Uruk-hai to get Merry and Pippin, what did Aragorn tell Legolas? Legolas, tell me what your elvish eyes see, which was almost like 50 miles away. And he says, he's like, your boy Arendelle was like, hey, I see you got a little scar on the back of your, you know, a fresh burn. He saw that through her hair and everything. And she was like, oh, I'm clumsy. I slept by the fire, and, you know.
Oops. She was like, I tripped over the cat and I got burned by the iron.
I got burned by the iron. She was like Penny. It's like Penny from Good Time. No, mama. No. My man said, oh, I tripped and the ironing board flipped over and it hit the, you know,
and it hit stupid lie, yo.
And it hit
the perfect spot on my back of my neck.
And then he said, really? He said, well, that looked real fresh. And he snatched her up by her neck and flipped her. It was like, yo, look, she tried, this is fresh. She tried to cover the mark of order. And she's like, ah. And then he was like, and then he gonna try to run. They stopped her. And he was like, look, yo, like, I get it. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, you ain't fooling nobody. Yo, Bond chained her up and she gonna show us where this encampment is in the north. So you know, you see them walking, and they're walking. It's like a bog like type thing. Like it looked like freshly cut trees that have been cut down.
Yeah, it's like this weird like swampish area.
You know swampish area. And then next thing you know, for people of my age, I had PTSD trauma watching the next thing that happened. All I'm going to say, Rashad, is a never-ending story. Am I lying, Rashad?
Hey, man, you know what? I hated that movie. I never watched the whole thing, but I do know what you're talking about, though. You know what I'm saying?
My man Isidore went into a mud pit and started sliding. I said, no, Artax, save Artax. You know, I was like,
sir,
oh, I said, oh, wrong movie,
wrong franchise,
wrong
altogether.
franchise, dude. I had PTSD. I'm like, no, save Artax. He started sinking down, and then you saw Aaron go like, yo, my man. He's trying to help him, and then he was like, yo, I'm about to bring you with me, and then they go under, and you see the chick looking like, I'm out. I say, oh,
should I stay? Should I go? I don't know.
Shout out Maya. But but she did come back with like a branch and stuck it down there, and boy, that won't no quick mud or quicksand, whatever the hell it was.
Nah, this like Centipede, the game looking dragon came up.
Yeah, this thing came up and had like tusks and all this stuff. It was about to make lunch of her too, but our boy Arendelle took the bag on swords and flip, cut him and Isidore out from inside. And Isidore was like, yo, what the hell was that? Like, what the hell was that? It's so crazy that it's a creature they never seen before. I don't know. And there was like, hey man, there are lots of things from the deepest, darkest places here that have no name. And he just says, we shall call it dinner. And he had like a piece of meat from the thing. And they sit there laughing. That is so stupid or whatever. And so in the process of that, and they're looking, and he's like noticing, he's like, yo, it won't no people that snatched up Theo. It was something else. So what do we see next? We cut to a scene of Theo coming to, and he's like in a tree cell. You know what I'm saying? Like a tree prison. It's like a tree that's been formed into a prison. And he's there with the other guys, the bandits, the you know what I'm saying, followers of Adar bandits, and it's like, hey, look, well fed just woke up. I said, these dudes are so pissed. They so pissed this boy is ate.
And that's the funny thing about this season, yo. Like, they're keeping the joke going, and I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Because it was so many moments of like just like real like quick levity that they had. Like they really did a good job with the humor. Anyway.
Yeah, he said, y'all look well fed, and he's like, yo, and they all looking like, yo, what snatched us up? And they're like, hey, we don't know what snatched, you know, we don't know, man. We just here, so we just try to figure out what's going on top of that. So in the process, nightfall comes again, and Isidore's talking to old girl, and it's like, hey, man, blah, 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 blah. You know, you saved our lives, but however, yo, you ain't got to live like this, girl. And, you know, he got, look, and Isidore falling for that medieval poontang boom again.
Yeah. He trying to get he going hard at the Astra, yo.
He going hard after her, and they get all close. What does she do? She snatches his sword out and then pointing it at her and everything, and pointing it at her, and she thinks she's doing something, but who's there? Arendelle like, no. He
like, hey,
settle down. But then he's like, hey, yo, put that sword down right now, and not because I got an arrow putting on you. Guess what we see? It's the Ents, the tree people from Two Towers. They're here. And there was a woman Ent that was not having it at all. She
was pissy mad.
She was pissy mad. She was whooping ass and asking questions later. She smacked Astra so hard and flung her across the deck.
Knocked her out
cold. And like, then you start seeing the other trees moving and stuff, and they're like, yo, and then Aaron start talking to her in tree talk, like, hey, yo, and she's like, hey, what you got a she's like, sword. She's like, have you ever had to use a sword before? My man was like, unfortunately, I have. And
he said, have you ever laid an axe to a tree? He's like, oh, come on, why you gotta talk about why you gotta bring up old stuff?
Unfortunately, she started snapping on him, and he was like, yo, listen to me, or whatever, like, yo, what happened here? And basically, long story short, the orcs came through and basically cutting trees down and stuff like that.
Yeah, they was
And
scorched earth as they're moving through.
yeah, and then too, you think about it. Remember when Mordor was formed, it was scorched earth on top of that, and they said that they heard the cries of the saplings and the trees from miles away. So they came to see, the Ents came to see what was going on, see what happened. And so Eddie was talking to them, and he's like, "Look, yo, like, look, we ain't trying to cause no problems. We trying to make the peace. I'll do whatever you know. Say I'm gonna do my best to rid all these orcs of this forest." And the lady Ent basically like heart opened up. I don't know if she has a heart or not.
Yeah, I mean, metaphorically, she acquiesced, gave him a flower, because that was his tell that something was going on, because everywhere that they were, she would be leaving petals from the flowers of her tree. So he was like, "What? Why is it?"
Yeah.
Who King of Zamunda leaving petals everywhere? You know what I'm saying?
Right. So that's how he knew it was the Ents that snatched up Theo. So she and the other Ent take them over to where Theo and the other captives are, and they let them out. And your boy Isidore, he's sitting there. Okay?
I'm about to get me a look. I'm about to get the second base.
He said like, I can't lie, I'm about to get me some Cuddy. He thought he was gonna get some.
He came in quickly, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just survived that. I just survived that. How would we go back to my place so I can hit that? And all from distance. Astrid,
is that you?
Is that your girl? I know that who I think it is. She was like, Astrid looked up. Oh my God, it's my actual boyfriend.
Yeah, it's her betrothed. Man, Isidore became so pissy, mad at Elsa.
Yeah, he loved singing old Kanye West.
You know what he did? He stormed off. My man right now is somewhere with Drake singing Marvin's Room right now.
Yeah, Marvin's Room, or In the Night. Coldest story ever told.
Yeah, so
I'm so heartless. All right, yo. So that's pretty much end of that.
Yeah, end with them. Go ahead, Rashad, with the
elves. So who was next? The elves, right?
Yeah, that's it. The elves.
That's it. Yo. The most intriguing story of this episode, even though I did like the Harfoot angle of the song, because it wasn't like, just them wandering. Elrond hates Galadriel so much.
You want to know what's even more funny? You know what's even more funny? In the future, Galadriel is basically like his grandmother-in-law. That's the funniest part. That's the funniest part. Galadriel is basically his grandmother-in-law. But yeah, he hates her so. And then too, I like seeing what's going on with Elrond too, Rashad, because you see in the movies how Elrond is so stoic, and he like, the only time he's like not stoic is when it comes to his daughter. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, he's stoic, and he's like, "Hey man, y'all chill. We gotta get look, just the Fellowship of the Rings and all this." He knows the story, and even telling, Aragorn, like, "Hey, you're Isildur's heir. I was there when your generations old grandpappy felt this, felt this or whatnot." But he's on a power trip, and he ain't trying to hear nothing. So it's a bridge, right? That will give them like a straight shot.
Yeah, they're trying to get to Aragorn, right?
Aragorn, where Celebrimborn is.
Yeah, Celebrimborn, hanging out with Sauron. You know what I'm saying?
Right. With Sauron. And that bridge is gone.
Yo. And that wasn't like no little bridge. Like, that bridge was huge.
Yeah. He gone. That bridge is gone. And so they sitting there like, hey, so, how we going to do this? Because even before then, when they was planning to leave, Elrond was talking to Galadriel, was like, hey, yo, what do we need? We need an archer. We need this, that. And Galadriel was like, look, archer, hello, you got me. And then he's like, yeah, I know you here, whatever, but I want to bring some of my own people type stuff. So when they see the bridge is gone, they got a guy, I guess, who's like a surveyor tractor and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and he's like, yo, we can go south, we can go north, but it's gonna do this. We
And
can
he's gonna
do
add like
this.
2 weeks to our
2 weeks
travel.
to our travel. We can go south. Yeah, but that's kind of like,
Yeah, we
and
got
the
you gotta go through
gotta go through
scary
some
time out there,
gotta
you know what
go
I'm
through
saying?
scary time. And then like Galadriel, she has one of the elvish rings of power, and she has a vision. And she's like, yeah, no, we don't need to go south at all. Like it is like she says Sauron wants us to go south because of the dangers that are there. Elrond looked dead in the eye and was like, okay. All right, we're gonna go south.
South it is.
South of
I
it.
was like, yo, this
It's
dude is not, yo, this dude hate Galadriel right now, yo.
and she like, yo, Elrond, like, I just told you what he said, and I took that in consideration, and yeah, we're gonna go south. And his whole thing with her, he tells her was like, look here, I am not going off the advice of that damn ring.
Yo, he
And
called it a trinket.
yeah, your trinket, right? I'm not going off the advice of your trinket, and I suggest you don't go, and I'm not going off of you shouldn't go off the advice of that thing either. And she's like, oh, this motherfucker right here is just, just on his little pissy, warp. So she's like, all right, cool. So they cutting through, and you see them. It's nighttime, and they going through what looks like the Forbidden Forest and Harry Potter, whatever.
Tony.
Huh?
I also first I gotta tell you the setup. So it's like 5 in them, right? 5 or 6.
Six.
Either way, they got 2 swordsmen. One's this black dude, another dude. Got an archer. It's like an Asian lady, and they got the tracker dude, who we already talked about. So they're going through this like, yo, it's essentially, it's a spooky sundown town. You know what I'm saying? So the black guy gets there. He's like, oh man. He basically says, I have a bad feeling about this. Like that's essentially what he tells him.
Yeah.
And then like, hey man, and Elrond and his cocky behind talking about some, look, yo, dead people can't harm me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, because where they at, they said like this is old.
It's like the
grave
site of like
this is old ancient. Like this is where they used to bury the heroes at.
Yeah, and like stuff, the kings and stuff and royalty.
And stuff and royalty. And yeah, everyone's like, can't nothing dead hurt me. Keep it moving. Then one of the elves is like, hold on real quick. I'm picking something.
Like something. Is something singing to me? Like Galadriel, did you hear that? And she's like, I didn't hear that, but I think we need to be alert. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because he
saw the eyes. Remember, he saw like the eyes in like a little cave or something blinking at him, and he pulled his blades out, and she was like, yo, chill. And yeah, so
they still walking, and then they stop, and then again, black guy was like, I ain't feeling this. Man,
I like this one bit.
It's some random chains. Some chains came from one of them graves, just like the swift change of slavery, and dragged them right into that daggone cave, yo.
I said it's Spawn. Let me stop.
It's Spawn. That is so good.
Those chains came out, snatched
so them, good,
and took our black elf away. Our final ale.
Final episode. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, dog, yo, we had it really bad this episode, but it's all good. We're gonna bounce back.
Yeah.
All right, so they're and they're figuring out that they can't really fight them with their mortal weapons. You know what I'm saying? They're getting snatched up and they're running away, and then it's like a whole host of them. It's like 12 of them. They just get surrounded, and who figured out that they had to use like the special?
I think it was Galadriel.
Yeah, I think it was Galadriel. Was like, yo, stop trying to hit him with your arrow, stupid. Like use like, you know what I'm saying, like
use the elvish weapons.
Yeah, the elvish weapons. And and she essentially thwarted them all. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Even though Galadriel is a jerk, she don't want to see her people die, even though they let that black man die very fast.
Yeah. Cause
And
remember
they,
what she said. Cause remember what she said when he was like, "Yo, we gonna go south," and she says, "No, blah 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 blah. We need to go north." And he was like, "Whatever, we still going." And she was like, "He was like, well, you could go on back if you want to." And she says, "I would, but I don't want to see none of y'all die."
yeah, he
Well,
said a world ruled by Sauron is worse than me
mm-hmm,
having to travel, through the
mm-hmm,
south. You know what I'm saying? So next day sort of set up, they're kind of just talking. Is Elrond and it's some Galadriel,
mm-hmm,
and they're having like this post battle conversation.
mm-hmm,
And she's like really sad about the bluff passing away. You know what I'm
mm-hmm,
saying? So this kind of shows you that because we know, but I don't think they know that even though she was like leading her whole regiment to death, that she really felt for her people. Like she was like, I'm not just like out here having all his pawns.
yeah,
I'm really trying to find Sauron.
mm-hmm,
And Elrond still does not care. He's like, look, yo, like what you saying, like I get what you're saying, like it don't matter though. Like we got a job to do. We still got to get the Celebrimborn, you know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
Hellbrand may be there already, so we still got to be on pace. The tracker dude
mm-hmm,
was like, hey, I know y'all having this little conversation, but her drum beats.
mm-hmm.
And they're like, shoot, cut tonight. And they're like, you know what I'm saying, like a little scout position. And
Mm-hmm.
who do we have? The orcs
Or
are marching
marching.
on,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a
And they
host of them.
and they're just trying to figure out like, yo, so are they like who are these? Are they Saurons? And then I think Elrond was like, no, I think these are Dars,
Dar, yeah.
a Dar. And they was like, well, is a Dar and Sauron working together or are they going to battle? And they're like, ah, shit,
We
yeah,
and like, and this is part that I think like the show. I'm glad the show was emphasizing is the
mm-hmm.
fact that they don't know what the
No,
hell is going on. Like they
mm-hmm.
have no clue of the depths and layers of this plan.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And like that Sauron is enacting on them.
Mm-hmm. And so, next thing you know, a little orc patrol fires an arrow
Just
and
for
it
fun. They
and
just
it and it hits one of the elves. But it won't that they saw the elves. They were trying to go after this horse. They were
yeah,
trying to
yeah, with the
they were
worst aim ever.
ever hit the horse, but it hit the elf. And so
You got hit by a
the
stray.
the elf was like they had to cover his mouth and like, yo, shut up, suck it up.
Dude
Look,
turned around and said,
yeah, he's like, hold on. I smell elfish
smell elves out here.
smell clean. Smell like elves out here.
Elves, fresh elf blood. So,
Mm-hmm.
and also we see that the ring also has healing properties
Right.
because
Because
she
she helped
definitely
him.
laid them hands on him, and he
Mm-hmm.
was like, rise, my son, you have been healed. Take up your bed
Amen.
and walk. So
Amen.
they're like in a scurry because look, Gladriel's like, hey, I need you to take this ring, Elrond. I need you to get the hell out of here.
Right. She was like, y'all need to go. I'm gonna hold them off. Here, take this. Elrond was like, I don't want your little stupid ring. She said, take this and get the hell out of here. I'm gonna hold them all. And she like goes over there and she's doing her thing, holding her off. And then one of the elves is like, she's sacrificing herself to save us. Elrond said, man, she
Nah.
ain't sacrificing herself to save us. She's sacrificing herself so they don't get this ring, which is smart, which is extremely smart.
Yeah.
And
Elrond is being just hateful to the end. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, hateful to the, what I'm saying, ride that hate, son. But she does a good job taking out a lot of those elves. And finally, she even got on the horse and was going around lopping off
Yo,
orcs and stuff.
Galadriel was killing him.
And then finally, he comes. Adar comes, snatches her off, and she has like a flaming arrow. He says, "Hold on." He's like, "Relax, lady. Relax, Galadriel, because he knows who she is." And he was like, basically, like, kind of like, fancy meeting you here.
Yeah,
Kind
like
of, kind of.
let's hey.
Let's parlay. Let's have
Put
a
exactly. Put
let's
the arrow, put the bow and arrow down.
put down.
Let's have
Let's
a
talk.
conversation.
Let's have a conversation. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of episode 4 of the Rings of Power. Yeah,
Good episode, man.
good episode. Good episode. Like you said, Rashad, I don't see why people really hate this show or whatever. I guess if you're a super duper Tolkien person or whatever, hey, I get it. But
I mean, who are we to judge? Even Judge R. R. Martin hate his own HBO series.
Yeah,
So it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I don't know, but yo.
All right, who do you think was the MVP for this episode?
All right, MVP for this episode. That is a really good question.
I'm gonna say it was your boy.
Aaron dear?
Yeah.
Man, he's definitely up there. Like, if I had to pick, it's
Galadriel's also a good.
Galadriel's good, but she got caught. So how much of an MVP are you?
Yeah. Maybe Tom. I mean, maybe Bombadil.
Maybe Bombadil. You know what I'm saying? Maybe or to be honest, like, yeah, maybe Elrond. You know what I'm saying? But like, I would have to say it's looking like Aaron Deer, yo.
Yeah, I'll give you my top ones: Aaron Deer, Bombadil, Galadriel, and my fourth person, the Black Lady Hobbit. Because
I was gonna say that too, but I ain't want to be stereotypical. But yeah, she was definitely.
She didn't snitch, you know.
Nah, she didn't snitch, and she didn't cry either. Like she really took that. She took that smack.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
She pulled the Cersei. I'll wear it like a badge, a badge of honor. Robert said, "Well, you want me to honor you again?" So, yeah, but Aaron Deal for me is definitely because he figured out Astrid was, okay. He figured out Astrid was, saying being a double agent. He also, saying and also it was good to see Theo finally stop acting like a little punk ass.
He did. He said, "Yo, you actually came back and got me." He was like, "I made a vow to your mama."
Yeah. Like, hey man, I told I was gonna look after you, and then he was like, "Cool," and then he was like, "Hey, I got another vow I gotta keep. I need to run these orcs up out of this forest and stuff like that. You want to come?" And then he was like, "Hey man, I got a vow
to keep two back at the house." So
back at the house.
So that was good to them to like resolve that storyline. If I don't see
and I like
Theo
they did it
again,
quick. I'm glad they did it quick and not try to hold it out and stuff.
We didn't belabor the point. You know what I'm saying? I do feel you on that. Aaron Deer MVP season 2 episode 4. Yeah, man. Shout out to Aaron Deer. He was really he had good quality screen time this episode. But yeah. That's really all we got for this one, man. Like, what else you got?
Any ideas of what you think is gonna pop off?
Episode 5. Oh man,
I think episode 5 is gonna do a lot with Numanorean. What's popping off over there with
them? Because like I said, we didn't even talk about them at all. Because remember, at the end of episode 3, like their whole political landscape just changed. You know what I'm saying? And then we got the Queen with no sight. She's gonna have to basically run. They're gonna kill her. They're gonna try their best to kill her.
I think they're gonna kill her, or that dude to be a part of the royal family. Maybe force a marriage or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's gonna try to marry his cousin.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Tight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Like that's a good. Definitely them, and
then probably what the conversation between Adar and Galadriel. And then probably some more Sauron. I think that's going to be kind of the
because we didn't get no Celebrimborn and Anatar. So like yeah.
Ooh, and then probably dealing with the dwarves, the aftermath of them getting their rings.
Again.
Yeah. So
the world is huge, man. So many moving parts. I appreciate how they focused in and really kind of nailed down these 3 groups of people in the show. But yeah, man. Episode 5 is going to probably fire as well. They're really doing a good job with the money. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I can tell that they ain't spending as much money, but they still spending money. You know what I'm saying? That's why they give us the first 3 episodes at the same time, so we can go and get out our system.
What, it's 10 episodes, right? This season, or is it 8?
I think it's 8. I'll check. I think it's 8 though. I'm pretty sure it's 8.
It's 8. It's
yeah.
8.
Yeah. So they're gonna keep on, you know what I'm saying, get to this climactic end of season 2. Man. Yo, as we told y'all, it's about to get busy out here. On the 18th, we got Agatha All Along. On the 19th.
However, we got something tomorrow.
Where was tomorrow? I thought that was the 19th.
Hold up.
Yeah. I thought it was the day after Agatha premieres.
You know what? I think you're right.
It's all right. You're just excited. And I appreciate your enthusiasm. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm excited?
Enthusiasm is the key.
That's right. We all know what the word is. Yeah. It's you're right. It is the 19th. The 19th. I think I'm excited because I don't think you're going to watch it, but I'm going to watch it sometime this weekend, and that would be Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I'm definitely not watching Beetlejuice.
Michelle said, "Yeah, that's nice. You can do that."
Yeah. Also, especially reading just how much of a racist asshole Tim Burton is. I was like, oh, dog, yeah. Really? Like, why would you even say this? Like, it's it'll yeah. Just look it up, Tony. It's recent. It ain't even old stuff. It's recent stuff. So yeah. Next time we see you guys will be next Thursday. Unless something crazy pops up next Thursday here, Talking You Soul podcast. Make sure that you join the family of podcasts over at the Upon Further Review on your podcast. Add us on your podcast playlist. Add us on YouTube.
I'm on Threads now, y'all.
Tony's on Threads. We are also on Threads. Also on IG, yes, TikTok, Facebook if you're nasty. And of course, YouTube is a social media site of sorts as well. But yeah, that's all we got. See y'all next time.